Yes.
So, we have a very special announcement from Butcher Block Horror Podcast. If you're listening to this in the month of June, we have great and grand news of our awesome purpose. Joe, what exactly are we doing?
During June, the month of Pride, we're collecting donations via ko-fi.com/brainwormspodcast and twitch.tv/count_cannula for Transform Cincy. Ken, why don't you tell them about Transform Cincy?
I would love to. So Transform Cincy is a nonprofit that provides wardrobes head to toe to transgender and gender nonconforming youths.
Free of charge.
Free of charge, changing fucking lives. That is amazing.
So amazing.
And we're super proud of them and super happy to help them in any way we can. We've actually raised a ton of money so far, but we need to raise more. And if you're listening to this right now, you should totally donate so that we can raise more.
You should.
That sounds good. What do you think, Joe?
Why don't we remind them one more time of the places that they can go to donate money to this wonderful charity, Kane?
I know that if they go to twitch.tv/count_cannula, like think Count Dracula, but cannula, that's Kainula. You can go during my streams, and I think technically you can just go to the page and just click on the donate.
I think you can too.
It'll show up when I go to stream again.
Or via ko-fi.com/brainwormspodcast.
That is correct. And all of this is going to culminate to a Brainworms podcast live recording on June 24th at 6 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/count_cannula.
It's true. On with the show, I suppose.
Yes. On with the show. Welcome to Butcher Block Horror Podcast, where we exhume horror movies from the past and cut into what makes them so delectable. I'm Kane.
I'm JD.
And I'm Joe.
We're a fucking 19th century radio reporter, Joe.
Yeah, we're here to talk about this boxing match on the radio.
And I'm a cartoon boy.
He's a real boy.
Today we're going to be throwing Demons 2 onto the slab and carving up our favorite portions to force feed to you, our unwitting victims. This was a direct request from Joe. We were originally going to do Motel Hell,
which I now regret to some extent.
So sorry, everyone.
If you enjoy the taste of these feasts of fright, then give us a like and subscribe. If you don't, message Joe directly, because this was all his fault.
That's not...
And hit him with the pain stick.
How any of this works. Don't message me directly because it means you found my personal social media information, and that's creepy. Don't do it.
Slide into his DMs to complain.
Yeah. I'm talking more about the Butcher Block section in the Discord channel, but if Joe wants to be dramatic about it, then that's fine too.
Oh yeah, if you just add me in the Discord, then that'll be fine.
What did you think? I was going to give out your personal information, Joe? What kind of a monster do you think I am?
Well, I didn't think you were going to give it out, but I thought you were going to invite the listeners to find it.
No. Anyhow.
Yes.
Anyhow.
You should also go to our website. We give you brainworms.com.
You most definitely should.
At some point in the not too distant future, we are going to be getting our website updated and upgraded.
Paid for by viewers like you.
Yeah.
That is your Patreon dollars at work.
Thank you, everyone.
It is.
Thank you.
Eventually updating our website.
Eventually, yeah. But you can use it currently to become patrons, or you could just join our Discord community, the Brainworms Presents Funky Fresh Discord community.
Yeah, it's pretty active right now. There's stuff going on in there.
Yeah, we've been hanging out in there and talking about stuff.
Mostly it's just Chris and I being eccentric in the Brainworms channel, but if you want to roll in there and talk horror movies, we would be happy to have you.
Oh yeah, we are down to get down. We also have an Instagram where you can message JD since he refuses to interact with technology other than recording the podcast and Instagram. That's it.
Don't judge me.
And he records the podcast on an old karaoke machine.
It's a boombox with a regular tape and a record button.
JD, Joe's a bit younger than us, so for him, that's a karaoke machine.
No. I'm familiar with boomboxes.
Well, then
Yeah.
Because you can't plug a fucking microphone into a boombox, Kane.
I don't know what cheap-ass boombox you had, but I was able to plug a microphone into mine.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Maybe that was before my time then.
Real quick, before we get into the actual podcast that we're recording, I do have a story about a boombox.
Okay.
So I don't remember which 80s movie I watched where the cool guy carried a boombox around on his shoulder. There were many.
That's any cool guy.
Yeah, it was a trope.
There was enough of them that I stole my older sister's boombox.
Nice.
And I just had like a radio station on and was just walking around my neighborhood with this boombox on my fucking shoulder. And I was the coolest thing ever.
Did you happen to be wearing either a track jacket, track pants, or a beret?
Or a baseball cap turned around backwards.
I did have a baseball hat on, but it wasn't turned around backwards.
Oh, loser.
It was like 90 degrees off to the side of your head.
I did have green striped white socks that went up to my knees, though.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the shorts were probably a little shorter than what I would wear today.
Right.
By a little bit.
They were some John Stockton edition, like Utah Jazz.
Short. Yeah.
70s basketball uniform kind of shorts.
Yeah.
Did your
they were short.
balls exceed the elastic band?
No, I was maybe 6 years old.
Okay.
Were they cut off jean shorts with the pockets hanging out past the legs of the shorts?
No, they weren't.
Okay.
I don't know how the hell NBA players wore those shorts, because I'll tell you right now, if I put a pair of those on, my balls would be hanging out the elastic band at the bottom. There's no fucking
but you're
way.
also
They probably
old.
had
That's true.
jock straps holding all that business in.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Well, you know what?
True. That's true.
Yeah, JD, we're going to talk
There's
about
a point
Demons
to
2.
this podcast. Yeah, let's get to the point.
This is Joe's doing. We watched this movie, and this is on him.
That's a demoni too in Italian.
What? Wait, what?
Demons 2.
Moving on.
Demoni 2.
Why don't you give us a synopsis?
We apologize to people of Italian descent for JD.
Oh, they don't care. They don't care.
cultural heritage.
JD is of Italian descent.
Okay.
I am. I know what my people are up to. They're eating a caprese salad right now. They don't give a shit.
I want one of those too. That sounds good.
You could have one. Right on. So yeah, before the synopsis overview, I'm just going to go ahead and mention that this film, Demons 2, was initially released to theaters in Italy October 9th of 1986 by Titanus. That's an Italian production company. That's a strange name. Anyway, maybe I mispronounced it, but anyway.
It's probably less strange in Italy than...
Probably. It has a runtime of 92 minutes. The U.S. version is cut down to 88 minutes, but I believe we consume the 92-minute version.
I believe that is correct, yeah.
Fairly interesting film. Let's see, what else do I have to say about this? There was a limited release date, September of 1986, September 10th to be exact, and Demons 2 made its way to the good old US of A, February 13th of 1987. Not much on the budget, however, the film grossed nearly $700,000 US at the box office, and I had to do a bit of super sleuthing to figure all of that out.
I just imagine you wearing like a Carmen Sandiego hat and coat.
Yeah, and I had a monocle and a magnifying glass and
creeping around Victorian London.
Yeah, it was like Sherlock Holmes, essentially.
We have a really weird visual representation of JD sleuthing, Joe. It's got some weird mixing of some weird things.
Yeah, there's a lot of bits and pieces.
You're not far off.
All right, good. You sleuthed and found out it's $700,000 is what the movie got.
Yeah, I was sleuthing. Anyway, they gave up this insanely astronomical figure monetarily, which was for a currency that no longer exists. That would be the Italian lira. And it was replaced by the euro in January of 99. So I had to figure it out, do a little bit of Googling, and I found a converter that would help me convert the Italian lira to US dollars, and that's what I figured out, $700,000.
So really, this visual that we have of you being like an adventurous detective, wearing bits and pieces of other detectives' outfits, was just you in your underpants at 1 o'clock in the morning, hunched down at your computer all sweaty.
Or like me now, because I don't wear pants while I podcast,
right.
So it's not that different. You guys still want the synopsis overview, or should I just turn the microphone around?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, go ahead, give us that. I'm sorry, man.
So yeah, the moment you've all been waiting for. the synopsis overview.
Yeah.
Demons 2. It's a Saturday night and the feeling's right. It's a demon night. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night.
Nice.
I'm surprised that the two of you didn't have more anger backlash toward me for that.
I liked it.
Anyway, the real synopsis is weird. Yes, weirder than the first part. There's kind of a plot within a plot, oddly enough.
Within a plot.
Right, Spookies vibes all the way. Anywho, residents of a high-rise building trapped inside, all the while being tormented and murdered by bloodthirsty demons. These demonies had the Saturday Night Fever. The main story follows some teens who wander into a deserted city and end up reviving the demon outbreak accidentally by dripping some blood into the mouth of a demon corpse, which is my favorite way to start a film. The blood kind of helps to get the party started. And, wow, this is unusual. You guys are usually trolling me through
I don't have
every
a lot to
other
say
word.
about this one.
That's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I hear you pausing, like waiting for us to interject.
And that makes me not want to do it.
Yeah. I'm trying to be courteous to you as you would be uncourteous
No, yes,
to
that's
me.
what I'm saying. It makes me not want to do it. Joe, how does
Right.
that make you, like when he makes space for us?
You just want to put out a shitty podcast today.
Well,
I get
that
it.
and like because I edit this show, like I kind of have this preternatural, like I'm listening to us talk and I'm kind of editing the show in my mind. So I'm
Gotcha.
very aware of those pauses. Like I hear you doing it, but I just don't have that much to say about Demons 2 to like interject and fuck with you about it.
Fair enough. It's not a great film. It's not a bad film. I'd say
No, it's
Yeah,
not bad.
it was-
I had
yeah.
fun.
there are certain step ups from the
I laughed a
Demons
lot.
1.
Yeah, I had fun.
Absolutely fun. Again, directed by the legendary Lamberto Bava, born April 3rd in Rome, 1944, son of Mario Bava, as we discussed last week.
Lamberto Bava O'Reilly.
Mario Bava O'Reilly, correct. Another legendary Italian
Demons Wasteland.
director. Demon Wasteland.
I'm glad that
It
you
just sounded
joined
like
in.
Jello Biafra right
did,
there.
I
That was
heard it.
wild. Good Lord. All right.
Efficiency.
Wow, you sounded like Jello even more than me. That was great.
Yeah. Jello Biafra and the lead singer of the B-52s are the same person. Changed my mind.
Yeah, right?
I mean, they're not the same person.
But I mean, if you listen to them on a recording, they're the same person.
yeah, but we have photographic evidence of both individuals being separate people, Joe.
It was all an elaborate hoax to cover up the fact that they were the same person.
I've seen video interviews with both of those people.
But have you seen them in the same place at the same time?
Obviously not, Joe. I haven't been to a fucking B-52s with opening band fucking Dead Kennedys ever because it's never happened, Joe.
That would be a great show, though.
Be a
Joe,
weird
if they're
show.
the same guy, then the earth is flat. So
Oh man,
Joe. How are you gonna confront
I
that?
can't argue. You defeated me with facts and logic. I can't argue with that.
So is it that they're the same person, or is it that the Earth's flat, Joe? We're all waiting with anticipation.
Oh man, I can't even.
sorry for the curveball, but
You told me that you made
that
me
was more
divide
like a
by zero. I
knuckleball.
can't.
That
I
thing is
can't do
moving.
it.
It's dancing.
All right, Ginny, keep going.
God,
I'm
stupid.
gonna. So I'm gonna shift gears slightly into a little anecdotal bit about Bava's and Argento's process regarding making Demons and, sort of the trilogy or what they thought was to be the trilogy.
Yeah.
Because we sort of beat, the whole subject to death last week talking about Bava and Argento. I gave quite a bit of information. So listeners, listen to Demons 1 and then come back to this if you
Yeah.
haven't already. So yeah, they were sort of plotting out Demons 3 together. And they were never intending to title it Demons 3, though, so that's kind of like... I guess there is a Demons 3, Kane, if you want to...
There are
Inject.
like 3 Demons 3s.
There are 3 Demons 3s.
Very confusing.
Yeah. I have that information in front of me if you want to run through the whole Demons 3 controversy.
It might be interesting if...
Sure, yeah. Lenzi made a film called Black Demons that was retitled Demons 3, which Lenzi didn't like. He didn't want that. And then Lamberto Bava directed a film in 1988 for Italian television called The Ogre, which was also released on video, specifically in the United States this time, as Demons 3 The Ogre, which had nothing to do with the Demon series as a thing. And then Dario Argento produced a film directed by Michel Soavi, pronunciation maybe, and written by Argento, Soavi, and Franco Ferrini, which they actually meant to be Demons 3, but was instead released as The Church and not titled as related to Demons in any way, because there were already 2 films called Demons 3.
So now I'm going to go ahead and insert a little bit more.
Yeah, you can insert whatever you want, buddy.
Thank you. So the original title for what could have been Demons 3 roughly translated to Return to the House of the Demons. And that was going to be, the next installment of Argento and Bava's collaboration.
Right.
They started to, they deviated away from Lamberto Bava, and somehow Argento started working with Franco Ferrini and Dardano Sarcetti. And they sort of were plotting the story out, and the storyline, it's just like this giant curveball, a bigger departure from Demons 1 to Demons 2. Now, all of a sudden, an airplane makes an emergency landing on some obscure island with a volcano and demons to torment the stranded crew and passengers. So this, odd hellscape was abandoned and replaced by the new screenplay set in a church that was cleverly disguised passage to hell. And all of that stuff had nothing to do with Lamberto Bava, but that ended up being what the church is now.
Right, yeah, it was it went through a bunch of script revisions and shit like that too.
Yeah, exactly. So all of that was produced by Dario Argento, but Bava was off pursuing other projects and just sort of left out of the making of the church. Ended up being directed by Michele Soavi. I believe that's how you'd pronounce that name in Italian anyway. I'm probably wrong.
Probably.
But maybe I'm right. And if I'm right, I deserve a cookie.
That sounds righter than the way that I said it, honestly. So I think you're doing okay.
Oh, well, I'm trying. I'm trying. Italians, just know I'm trying.
It's all that matters, really.
Yeah. So that's really about as far as I'm going.
So wait, if I'm understanding this correctly, there were 2 movies that were called Demons 3 that had nothing to do with demons. 1 and 2, yeah.
Yeah,
and then the movie that was originally meant to be Demons 3 went through so many rewrites that it became completely unrelated.
Yeah.
Cool.
It became the church.
Awesome.
Yeah, so basically, none of the Demons 3 are a follow-up to Demons 1 and 2.
That's terrific.
Let's just put this forward. The through line is that everything is confusing as possible.
Sure.
Sold. All right. What else we got?
So yeah, I don't know if Joe, if you'd like to discuss the writers at all on
Oh
this
yeah,
film.
are we done? Yeah, I can talk about writers, kinda.
Kinda.
The screenplay of Demons 2 was a collaboration between your boy Dario Argento, Lamberto Bava, and Franco Ferrini, all of whom we've talked about extensively. Listen back to the Demons 1 episode. I don't really feel the need to rehash any of that unless you just want me to.
No, I think you're good.
I don't want to waste our time or the listeners' time, all of which is very valuable. And same point about the cinematographer, Gian Lorenzo Battaglia.
Cinematographer?
Who we talked about him last week. He's an Italian cinematographer. He worked on the Popeye film with Robin Williams, which I genuinely love. Enough said, as far as I'm concerned. We talked about him last week.
What the fuck?
I don't know, but I like it. Don't stop. I'm almost done.
All right. Yeah, keep going, Joe.
No, I actually am done.
So a Popeye impersonation gets you in the right place?
I wanted JD to keep doing that Popeye voice while I masturbate.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was with you. I
put that together.
Shocked for a bit, and I just had to process it all, and now I'm back.
Cool.
Thank you for that, though.
Yeah. So I guess Kane should tell us about some actors.
Nah, I'm good.
Are you going home?
Should we just stop here and hit the music, walk away?
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed this probably 10-minute episode of the Butcher Report podcast. because we're bored.
No, we'll talk about the actor. All right, so David Knight, a very, very attractive man.
Mm-hmm.
He played George, and he may as well not exist. While I was looking for him,
I mean, don't say
on
that
the
to his
interwebs-
face. It'll hurt his
Shut
feelings.
up. Shut up, Joe. I don't need you. All right? But while looking for
Why are
him,
you so
I did
cruel
find...
to Joe?
Yeah, I have feelings, Kane.
He has feelings, Kane.
Joe, I formally apologize to you for hurting your feelings. And for the next perceivable amount of time, I'm only going to be kind and nice to you.
Say for like the next 25 minutes?
No,
Sounds
just
fair.
forever.
I don't think that's true.
Oh, all right.
No, Joe, I wouldn't do that to you and myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can I talk about
Joe,
the
run,
actors?
he's got the pain stick.
It's got,
I kind of like the pain stick now.
I am the pain stick. Fucking swear. Shut up. All right. So while looking for David Knight, who played George, I found a stage actor and a Georgia state representative, neither of whom were him. Moving on.
Yup.
We had Nancy Briley. She was preggers and waiting for some cake. She played Hannah. She was born on April 10th, 1964 in Rome, Italy. Her acting debut was in a movie called Claretta, and her horror credits include Demons 2 and then a giallo film called Body Count.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all I got on her.
Right.
Body, yada, 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 yada.
So this next person I found the most information on, and that was Coralina Cataldi Tassoni.
Mm-hmm.
It's my party, and I'll kick you all out for no reason.
Fuck
she
yeah.
played Sally Day.
She was under a lot of stress.
If I fucking want to.
She was very stressed. Born on February 24th, 1971 in New York.
She hated her
Raised
dress.
in a family of opera pros.
Thanks.
She hated everything. It was a bad day for her. She was having a rough day. She moved to Italy, where she spent most of her formative years. She returned to the U.S. after getting a scholarship by the Second City's Training Center for Improvisation in Chicago.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Her horror credits include Opera, Demons 2, Mother of Tears, and The Phantom of the Opera. All right, so we're going to talk about Asia Argento. She played the little kid, Ingrid Haller. She's Dario Argento's daughter and was accused of assaulting her 17-year-old co-star from the film The Heart is Deceitful Above All Things. And I'm not going to talk about what else she's done. Moving on, we have, drum roll, Bobby Rhodes. They got him in a dick again, and this time he played bodybuilder and personal trainer Hank. We talked about him in Demons. He's great.
His dick was beat up.
He was, man. 2 movies worth of dick trauma. That's what that was.
This podcast is also a lot of dick trauma.
Anyhow, he's great, and I want to watch other movies he's in.
Yeah, and give him a hug.
And his take charge mentality of all of his characters that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Just, they're really fun. Virginia Bryant, stuck in an elevator. She was cast as Mary the prostitute.
There's a lot of foreshadowing in this film. Every time someone was like, "Oh, don't do that."
Yeah.
Right.
Because of this reason.
I hope a
that
demon
thing
doesn't
happens.
grab my balls. And then immediately.
Yeah.
Virginia Bryant, there was nothing on her.
Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus.
She was in Demons 2, and she was in Demons 3, The Ogre, which has nothing to do with Demons.
Yeah.
But it is nice that they carried on that tradition, of actors from the first film or in the second film, actors from the second film or in the third film.
Except the third film isn't really the third film.
It's not. Yeah, there is no third film, technically. Oh, and so during my hunt to find Virginia Bryant, anything on her at all,
Right.
I found a cult celebrity website
Nice.
that had incorrectly listed her name as Virginia Negron,
Mm-hmm.
to which she personally responded that the actress in these images is not Virginia Negron, it is Virginia Bryant, because I am Virginia Bryant. And I was like, nice. But yeah, so
Touche.
she was in Demons and Demons 3 as far as horror, and she was in some movie called Barbarian Brothers. And
That sounds
That sounds
delightful.
like a classic. Yeah.
yeah, it's like a Conan the Barbarian ripoff. They were popular at one point.
Yeah.
Next, we've got Antonio Cantafora. Definitely not Nick Offerman, but totally looks like Nick Offerman. And that
I
is
can see that.
Ingrid's father, the little girl in the car.
Yeah.
He was born on February 2nd, 1944 in Crotone, Italy. He made his film debut in 1967, and apparently, due to his resemblance to actor Terence Hill, which I would like to say, the actor Terence Hill does not really look like Nick Offerman, like, at all.
Huh.
Oh, wait. No, he doesn't. Not at all. I mean, he's a good-looking guy.
But he doesn't look like Nick Offerman.
He doesn't look like Nick Offerman.
So Nick Offerman is like the center of the Venn diagram. Between,
Exactly.
Like, yeah,
That's
okay.
what I'm coming to grips with. But due to his resemblance to Terence Hill, he starred with Paul L. Smith in a series of action films. And his other name that he's been credited as is Michael Kobe.
All right. Yeah. Okay. That's
Yeah.
peculiar.
Yeah. Next, we got Luisa Pasega. She was saved with a shotgun. When I was writing my notes, I accidentally typed out shot fun, and I almost kept it.
Like cinematographer.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, she played Helga Haller, and again, no idea. This was her only horror movie, so my job was super easy again. And I didn't choose Demons 2. This was Joe, so I wasn't just trying to be lazy. And then last, I don't remember. I know we just did an episode on demons, but I don't remember who the cokehead from the first movie was. But in this movie, he apparently cleaned up his act, came back from the dead, and got a job as a security guard.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and that's it for the actors. I mean, there was a child actor, but I couldn't find. I don't even know who the child actor is. Their name wasn't even really listed.
They probably became a car salesman or something later in life.
Yeah. You guys want to hear about the score and the soundtrack?
Yeah, I think that'll be a fun conversation to have.
Absolutely.
All right,
Half that score was sexy.
yeah, the score,
Licensed.
goth music or licensed music,
Mhm.
was written by Simon Boswell. He was born on October 15th, 18.
Oh,
He
God,
was
he's
born,
a vampire.
born on October 15th, 1956.
Boswell.
In London, England, he is a BAFTA-nominated composer, producer, and conductor. He's known for combining electronic elements with orchestral, which we heard a ton of in this movie. And I like it.
When it wasn't just licensed goth music.
Yeah, when it wasn't just licensed copies. But his horror credits are Phenomena, Hobo with a Shotgun, which, if nobody's seen that, they should.
Sounds delightful.
Oh, it's so good. Rutger Hauer, it's fun.
Nice.
Lord of Illusions, another movie I love. The
Lord of
ABCs
Illusions
of
is
Death, The Church, Demons 2, The Theater Bazaar. I love The Theater Bazaar. One of my favorite anthology movies ever
I haven't
made.
seen it.
The Turn of the Screw, and he did a host of other horror movies. As far as the soundtrack listings, this is what I was able to find. And I actually recognized some of the songs during the movie because I used to be goth royalty.
Mm-hmm.
The Cult, Rain. Gene Loves Jezebel, Heartache. Peter Murphy, Blue Heart. Fuck Morrissey. Fields of the Nephilim, Power. And Dead Can Dance, De Profundis.
Right on.
Kane, do you realize that the more you ignore Morrissey, the closer he gets? So you're really wasting your time.
What are you talking about?
I see what you did there.
Okay.
I'm not going to jump into that. Let's just fuck Morrissey. I hope he dies in a house fire.
Right.
JD,
Yes.
if you're not too busy and you could be...
I got time
Convinced.
for talk about the special effects.
Yeah, I want to know about these special effects because they were fun.
I'm a little vexed, but I'll do it.
You're vexed, but you're sexy.
Yeah, I feel all
Vexed
right. I
and
feel all
sexy.
right.
They're just not mutually exclusive.
No.
Wait, I'm vexed and sexy? Is that what we're talking
Yeah,
about?
that's
Yeah.
what we're talking about. You being vexed and sexy.
Huh.
Not or,
Okay.
and.
Oh, it's both.
It's both, yeah.
I'm living in two dimensions.
Yeah, like a combination KFC Taco Bell, but you're vexed and sexy.
Right.
I feel more like a Dunkin' Donuts and a Baskin Robbins, though.
You are pretty sweet.
That's what I was looking for. I was fishing for that. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, but that's gross.
So the
Let's move on.
special effects. Yeah, it got a little weird.
I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here for it. So the special effects, once again, delivered by the truly amazing Sergio Stivoletti, with marvelous transformations, some stop-frame animation, mechanical bits, lots of gelatinous ooze, goo, gory guts, and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because Sergio was also responsible for Demons, I'm going to go ahead and talk about a few other heavy hitters in horror movie makeup. A few new names, starting with, well, I believe we've talked about Danilo before and some other films, but I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit deeper on Danilo Bolentini. Bolentini's biggest credits have nothing to do with horror, but
Then they don't matter.
that's true. But the film Equilibrium in 2002, The Life Aquatic 2004.
That's a great movie.
Wonder Woman in 2017. Yeah, I'm actually a big fan of Life Aquatic.
Me too.
It's a good film.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful film. I like Wes Anderson most of the
I
time.
like Bill Murray.
I love Bill Murray. Yeah.
What if
True.
Bill Murray? Actually, Bill Murray wasn't a horror film. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, Zombieland.
Yeah.
And Ghostbusters, you fucking nerds.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, shitballs. Holy
I don't really
wow.
consider
I forgot about
Ghostbusters a
that.
horror film. Like, it is, but it's just
It
weird to think about
absolutely
it
is.
that way.
Totally.
How old were
Yeah.
you? I hate to interrupt. I know we were going to talk
Go
about
ahead.
the special effects, but this is important. Joe,
Mhm.
the opening sequence when they go to investigate the library,
Uh-huh.
you're telling me that you were old enough that that scene didn't scare you? Because I was really young. I watched it when I was maybe 5 years old.
I don't remember being scared by Ghostbusters.
Okay.
I mean, when Rick Moranis guessed the right card, I got scared. That's how young I was. I was like, how did he do that?
Well, Rick Moranis didn't guess the right card.
Wait, what was it? Oh, I'm sorry. I confused him with the other guy.
Yeah.
But no, like when I stop to think about it, yeah, it's totally a horror movie.
Yeah.
But I don't instinctively make that connection in my mind. I have to like, oh yeah, that's totally a horror movie.
But continue, JD, on the special effects.
Bolantini's.
Let's just keep interrupting JD so he never talks about the special effects.
We promise, JD.
So
that
now
we're
you're
going
going to start interrupting me. So this is backloaded. The podcast is backloaded with interruptions. Normally,
Backload you.
you spread them evenly across the entire podcast. You're both trolling me from start to finish, but now all of a sudden, okay, I see how it's going to be. Don't worry, I got my shield and my spikes ready for the both of you. The first
Like
horror
your
film,
big punk rock spikes?
damn you both to Hades.
I'd like to see JD with a Liberty Spikes hairstyle all glued up and on the top of his head.
You know, I'd like to see that too, because that would mean that I had hair again, and that would be
Yeah,
pretty
and a
cool,
lot of it
so.
too.
Sure, enough hair. Anyway,
Please continue.
what should I talk about? If I had hair, or should I talk about?
You know, you do you. You take that freedom. Take the baton.
I could do whichever.
Yeah.
I would like you to talk about the
Okay.
special effects, JD.
I
we're
think
not,
you
we're
should
In
not-
be
that
allowed
case,
to
I'm
do
going
what
to talk
you
about
want and
if I
ignore
had
Kane.
hair.
JD,
No.
Joe, if this was the Butcher Block fucking Lifestyles podcast, then yes, I would be, down with you talking about what you would do if you had hair. But this is Butcher Block Horror podcast. So we've been off task so much. Let's at least try to finish this off with the special effect.
I'd like
That's
to see
logical,
you
Kane.
with a duck's ass kind of pompadour haircut, personally.
God
JD.
damn it, Joe! Shut up.
Who? Wait, Kane or me?
Yeah, you specifically.
Okay,
I would like to see Kane with just beautiful blonde curls.
like
you and me both, buddy.
smooth butters.
Yeah,
Okay,
like a Swedish milkmaid.
Nice. All right, JD, special effects. Let's get on it.
Yeah.
gotcha. Bolantini's first horror film credit came by way of Phenomenon.
Do 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 do
Phenomena.
do do do.
Anyway, that came out in 1985, directed by Dario Argento. And that film actually stars Jennifer Connelly, that we all know from
Oh, no shit.
Labyrinth and other films. Yeah. Bolantini went uncredited on Demons, also in 1985. And, he's talking about him now for Demons 2. And he also worked on The Church of 1989. The Phantom of the Opera of 1998, Exorcist: The Beginning in 2004, and he made a made-for-TV movie titled A Judge of Horror, also in 2004, Mother of Tears in 2007, again directed by Dario Argento, and a thriller called Welcome Home in 2018. So now I'd like to mention makeup artist, very well-known horror makeup artist, and I'm going to butcher this name sadly, but Giacinto Beretti. This person has some massive titles to boast about.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they had some massive tits.
Titles, Joe.
Okay.
This is a
Jeez,
we're
Joe,
talking about
get your
horror
fucking
films.
head out of the gutter, all right?
Out of the gutter. Let's help him scrape that out of there. Okay. Back on target.
That's what happens when we record during the day, Kane.
That's true. So Beretti worked on Demons and Demons 2, and now I'm going to need a drum roll from someone. Perfect.
That's all you
He
get.
also worked on From Beyond, 1986.
Oh, nice. Great movie.
Yep. And then they went to work on Ghoulies 2, 1987.
God, I love Ghoulies.
Me too.
Who doesn't love Ghoulies, honestly? Aliens from the Deep, 1989. Dark Illness in 1990. And that was basically their last horror title to talk about. One more person involved with special effects I'd like to name. They started with Phenomenon in 1985. That would be Barbara Morossetti. She also worked on You'll Die at Midnight in 86. All three of the Demons films, I'm including The Church in that. Opera of 87. Spectres, also of 87. The Spider Labyrinth of 88.
That sounds awesome.
Hell yeah, it does.
I'm excited about the Spider Labyrinth. Notes taken.
Yeah. The Mask of Satan in 1990.
Fuck yes.
The Sect of 1991. That's the one about the satanic cult. I'm still interested in seeing
a lot
that.
of Italian horror movies are about satanic cults, I feel like.
It's true.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Cemetery Man in 1994. Phantom of the Opera in 1998. Sleepless in 2001. And Dracula 3D of 2012.
Why were so many really good horror filmmakers involved in Dracula 3D?
Maybe they didn't know. Right.
How was it so bad?
Well, it's like, how does anything just end up being bad? You know, there's a lot of stuff like that. And a lot of people get on board with it, and then it turns out, you know.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Either terribly and ruins a career, or, you know, it just to be laughed about on horror podcasts.
Sure.
30 years later.
Yeah.
Or however long it's been. God, what year is it? Never mind.
Time has lost all meaning.
Time is a flat circle.
It's true.
Basically. So yeah, if anyone else has anything to add. Now, the special effects in this film,
Nothing
as
smart.
far as the... What's that?
You
Nothing
asked if anyone else
intelligent.
had anything to add. I said nothing smart.
Nothing intelligent.
No.
No, that's fair. I would say, though, that this film, from a technical, special effects, and horror makeup standpoint, is a subtle step up from the first Demons.
Yeah,
I guess
I'll
that's
back
true.
that up.
Yeah.
There are a few more players in this game, and their contributions were noticed. I would say that this movie, about the same level of gelatinousness, but I would say that a lot of the wounds improved, and the animatronics, there were just more, a greater use of animatronics and mechanical puppetry with the addition of some demons, you know, kind of coming out of human actor bodies.
But were there any
And-
nurses with wounds?
I see what you did there, Jeff.
You like it?
Super proud of you.
I was impressed that they had a mechanical, an animatronic little puppet come from a child
That
as it
puppet
was
was
turned into a
amazing.
demon. And I think that they had to do that because I don't know if they wanted to show someone killing a child, so they
Yeah.
made the demon come from the child so they could kill the demon.
I don't know if a demon bursting out of a child is more palatable than quick death.
I'm just trying to justify why they
But I guess that
did
makes
that.
sense.
And
Yeah.
because I was expecting the pregnant woman to deliver a demon baby at some point,
Sure.
and that was the curveball there for me.
If that movie was made today,
Mhm.
she absolutely would be giving birth to
Yeah.
a baby demon.
I agree.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, no, honestly, I was fond of the special effects in this film. I found them to be favorable, as well as Demons, you know, the original. Yeah, I don't know. Some of the wounds seem to improve. So, you know, the makeup artist, even just a year's time, that seemed to evolve, and maybe the skill level, the expertise of those involved, you know, just made things a little bit more grotesque and realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the beginning demon that was just like a dusty corpse.
Mm-hmm.
Like they did some time-lapse stop motion, like that
Yeah.
reverse stop motion,
Mhm.
and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like, even though it doesn't always look good, anytime you see stop motion in a horror movie, it's always enjoyable.
Yep, always have a good time with it.
Yeah.
And they also constructed, I mean, I'm assuming in the first one that there were some busts constructed to where, you know, they do a zoom in
Sure.
and then show like a close-up of something. I noticed the one thing that stood out to me that was just kind of wrong visually was, remember the actress that was complaining about how she did not like her dress?
Yeah,
When she turned into a demon, they zoom into her mouth to show that her, you know, her human
Coralina
teeth were
Tassoni.
correct. So her human teeth are falling out and being replaced by these like long demon fangs. And if you looked at her nose, her nostrils were like, they were not cavernous. They were these like shallow little like divots. And so that's what gave it away, that her head was temporarily replaced by a bust.
Right.
Yeah. So that was disappointing. Like, you would think that someone would look at that and go, oh, why don't we just get like a little Dremel tool and kind of make these caverns? But
I think it's hilarious that you think that that's what they were going to worry about.
well, there's a lot more, to worry about with this, but I'm just kind of going into like a subtle detail that could have gone a long way for a fan like me.
Right. Well, speaking of fans, JD, do you have anything else to say about the special effects?
I'm pretty,
Are you tapped out?
yeah, I'm rode hard and put away wet at this point.
Nice.
All right.
Pass the
We're going to
baton.
talk about our personal experience with the movie. Joe,
Yep.
why don't you go ahead and give us a start? Make sure you mention that this was your fault.
Oh, I was going to. Yeah, I had, prior to, watching it for this podcast, I had never seen Demons 1, Demons 2, or any of the 3 films that weren't Demons 3. And I believe JD picked Demons the First for this. And I watched it, and I had fun, because Demons 1 is a fun
It is. It's a good
fun
time.
horror movie. It's a good time. And my thinking was, Demons 1 was just a cheesy, wonderful fuck fest. And I want more of that. So I talked Kane, it wasn't all that hard,
No.
into doing Demons 2 next week, or this week now, because it was in the past. What's time?
Flat circle.
Okay, cool.
And nor does it matter.
But Demons 2 did not live up to the expectations set by Demons 1.
No.
The special effects were pretty consistent, but the movie around the special effects, like I kind of struggled to pay attention to. I spaced out a few times. It felt like eventually certain bits of it intersected, but a lot of it,
Right.
and especially because of the movie within the movie,
Ugh,
that didn't need to happen. And I feel
They
like
did it
only
again.
happened because Demons 1 had a movie within a movie
Yeah.
for
They did it
completely
again.
unrelated behind the scenes reasons.
It felt unnecessary.
It
to
felt
do that
unnecessary
again.
in both movies. So Demons 2, because of that and because of just the way that it was plotted, it felt like 4 or 5 completely separate movies happening independently of each other.
But smushed together.
Yeah, that occasionally decided to cross paths eventually when they got around to it.
And every now and then, remember when someone would appear to fumble the camera?
Yeah, there was weird shit happening. I should have mentioned it when we talked about the cinematographer. I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
But there were certain
Nice job
scenes...
dropping the ball, Joe.
I know, I'm so bad at everything. But there were certain scenes that maybe were filmed by a different team, because again, this was like 4 different movies cut together, it felt like, where the camera was just wiggling and juddering. And we watched the HD, the Blu-ray cut of this, which I assume made it worse.
Maybe.
It was weird and bad.
Some well-defined
It
waggling.
was jarring.
Yeah, it was just the camera was rattling all over the shop. And I don't know why. I don't know who shot it that way. I don't know who saw those recordings after the fact and went, yeah, this is fine. We'll just cut this in to the rest of the film. It's Italian horror as long as we have good blood and guts in it. Clearly no one gives a fuck if we're professional filmmakers.
As well as a few moments of like paste-in footage from like some street festival.
Yeah, there was just, aside from maybe just to tell the audience, this is in Germany, I think was the purpose of that.
I mean, that's what it felt like.
Yeah, there was like 2 minutes of some weird like Oktoberfest happening.
Not Nick Offerman was there enjoying or not enjoying it.
Right. That had nothing to do with the horror around it. Again, I can only assume just like an afterthought. Like, shit, if we don't have something extremely German in the film, how are people going to know it's set in Germany?
Yeah.
Someone could have been offered like a large, delicious pretzel or like a
A
Warsteiner.
stein of beer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
But yeah, good special effects, but I was mostly just kind of bored through a lot of
Right.
this. I don't know. Whatever. I'm going back to bed.
All right, JD, while Joe gets comfy,
Yeah.
why don't you tell me about your personal experience with the movie?
All right. Well, I I happen to have a copy of Demons 1, Demons 2, and The Church in my collection of horror DVDs that I so covet. And basically, I can't remember when I first seen this movie because I've just collected horror movies for a long time, and I would watch them and, just sort of, I don't know. This viewing is pretty much jolted some of my memories, but for the most part, it felt like I was seeing it again for the first time.
Feels like the first time.
The very first time. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. In comparison, it's hard not to compare this film to the first Demons. A lot of unnecessary stuff in this film, I felt. And I feel like there wasn't enough growth from one movie to the next. I think that they did well enough with the first Demons and tried to, rebottle that magic. And I don't know if they did as successfully as anticipated.
Sure.
I don't know. That's really my impression of the film. It felt to me like it was better in some aspects. Like I had mentioned, the special effects.
Yeah.
They took a step up.
Just the special effects were better.
Right.
Nothing else
and other
was.
things took a step backwards. There were aspects of the score that took a step up, and then there were aspects of it that took a step backwards. It's just kind of like a very roller coaster-ish move from the original to the sequel.
Yeah.
That's about
right
as far as I could go with that. I will once again gush about the animatronic demon puppet because
it was fantastic.
Oh God, I didn't talk about the puppet. I loved that puppet.
It was a great puppet.
It was the best thing in the movie.
The world in the gooeyest fashion.
It was cheesy as fuck. It didn't look real at all.
No, it was ridiculous.
But I loved it. I love puppets in horror movies, especially when they're smeared with Vaseline.
Yes.
They're gooey.
One of the most endearing characters of the film.
Yeah. I wish that the puppet was the monster of the film and all of the people in the apartment building. If it was just a legion of those puppets that they had to fight, this would have been the best movie ever made.
So it sounds like we need to watch Ghoulies. That's what it sounds
we
like.
need to watch Ghoulies.
Yeah,
it's a
pretty
mistake
much.
that we haven't watched Ghoulies.
All
we
right.
need to watch the entire Ghoulies series.
No, that's not a way that we're
that
doing
needs to happen.
Hashtag season 4, episode 1.
JD, do you have anything else to tell us about your personal experience with the film?
No, I mean, I feel like I said, I own a copy, and yet, it wasn't memorable enough for me. This viewing sort of revitalized all of that for me, just my impression, and that's about it. That's all I got.
Excellent. Well,
so yeah, Kane, how about you?
A common thing that happens to me is I am notorious for getting Demons and Demons 2 confused with Night of the Demons.
Would you say that you're notorious?
Yeah, so Night of the Demons and Demons have similar ways that the demonic influence is transferred. It's like bite, that kind of stuff, like zombie apocalypse style shit. So I get them confused. So I actually remembered when we were watching the first Demons, I was like, oh my God, now I remember this movie. But the second one, I'm like, I don't remember this movie at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know that before we watched it together, I don't remember having watched this movie.
Might I add real quick that demon blood has a very selective pH?
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, it's only corrosive when it wants to be.
It's bizarre.
It's only corrosive on certain objects. TVs are exempt, and apparently children are exempt as well.
Yep.
Yeah, like steel beams, vulnerable to demon blood.
Yeah.
Children's flesh, impervious.
Yeah. Television also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a good time. I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny more than anything else. I had a good laugh at all the stuff that happened, especially when Bobby Rhodes got his dick hit again.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty funny, like a callback to the first movie. Like, Bobby Rhodes is not allowed to have genitalia. That's really what this movie's about.
The demons
Bobby
just
Rhodes,
seek that thing out.
Yep. Demons just taking his dick. I really don't have anything else to say about it. I loved the movie's special effects. The fucking demon puppet was great. There was a scene where former cokehead, now security guard, gets his face slashed.
Mm-hmm.
And when he wakes back up as a demon, the whole right side of his cheek has just been removed and you can see his teeth. And I thought that was an awesome makeup effect.
Sure.
And that stuck out to me. Aside from that, I don't have anything else to say. Do either of you have anything else to say.
I liked the puppet.
I enjoyed the deep scratch marks down that one person's back as the...
Yeah, at the party.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah. And the like gray veins that popped out on people's faces were kind of good.
Oh, yeah. Those were fantastic, too. Those were a stop frame animation, correct?
I believe so. That's what it looked like.
Okay. Yeah. Well done.
Yeah.
Well, folks, if you watch Demons 2, let us know what you think. You can find us at WeGiveYouBrainworms.com, as well as most places that podcasts live. You can send us a message or comment. We'd also really enjoy it if you would go to our YouTube and like, follow, and subscribe.
Yeah, definitely go to our YouTube. We're trying to get that sub number up.
Yeah, like, follow, and subscribe.
And click the bell.
Oh, and yeah, because it's like right next to the subscribe
Yeah,
button.
if you're
So
going to, you might as well
click
click
subscribe, you could click the bell too.
Yeah.
And thank you in advance.
That sounds like a kitty cat is hungry and needs some loving. So it's gonna call it. I'm gonna push
Yeah, I'm
the
going to do
button.
the thing.
It's a Saturday night and the feeling's right. It's a demon night. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night.